All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome back to the two-stroke turbo channel. We have our shop dog Stella here laying in the sun. It's a rare Super Bowl Sunday, and it is a sunny day. Oh, you feel nice and warm. It's 42 degrees outside, but bright sun, and we've got a driveway full of cars that need to be driven. I actually have moved them into the sun because they've been so humidity entrenched from our wet winters with no sun, and particularly this little guy, this hot job here, this fire breathing little monster. This is our Subaru 360. It's been featured on the channel many times. I think I'm going to go through and kind of check this thing out and take it for a drive today. It's a two-stroke car. If you're not familiar with the two-stroke Subaru 360, they have suicide opening doors. There's a release under the back seat here to pop the hood, which is the rear engine, rear wheel drive. Let me pop that for you. There we go. And the front trunk is this lever right here. Pull that. Let's do some pre-flight checks. So up front here, we're going to find out if it has a spare tire, which it does not. Typically don't carry a spare tire on my Subarus, but if it did have a spare tire, it'd be in this area. The jack and the handle would be here, and the strap that holds the spare tire would be here. So the spare tire has to be a bias ply 4.8 by 10, otherwise a radial tire will not fit. We've got a fairly new battery. I have forgotten to date this battery, but I think it's only 6 months old. That is a tip for you. Always date your batteries because they don't last long. This is a, what does it say there? 350 cold cranking amp, 435 CA. So I think that's at 30 degrees and that's at like 50 degrees. This is a pretty powerful battery. It's a lawn and tractor battery. Has the terminals that are upright there, like not like a normal post. This has an aftermarket fuse panel. Looking at the brake fluid, it is full. That's always really good news. Let's go check the back. We've completed our checks here. Oop, got a flipper. Hood latch. I know I've got a burnt out headlight here. I've got to replace that. I should check the tire pressures. But let's just see what we got going on in the back here. This is the engine compartment in the back. Make sure that stays up. This looks a little wet. Oh, that's broken. It's completely broken. That's what you get, I guess, for buying a cheap air filter. That's no bueno. I did take the tube off of the factory air filter, which has the factory cold air intake, which seals up to the pull cool air from the back of the car, because I had some issue with it being restrictive. It was flooding. I'm not sure if the air filter is clogged or if I got, sometimes when these cars sit, the fuel will leak into here and create a wet filter, and the wet filter full of gas creates flooded spark plugs, believe it or not. Our belt, we've got a liter of oil. I think we're good, except for this. That bothers me. I think it's time to take this thing for a drive. Fuel valve is not leaking, or fuel filter has got fuel in it, although it needs to be replaced. I think we're good, right? Next thing is to get our dog to come with us. Hop up in there. Come on. There you go. I put a towel down for her so she can sit on that. And I think we're going to go to the park. Let's take this thing for a little ride. Seat covers are holding up. These are just slip-on seat covers. And I noticed my floor mat here, or I should say wheel arch mat, is not doing so good. It's starting to peel up. I've got to figure out a way to glue that back on. That is a bit of a trip hazard. I'm always looking for preventative on these things. It's pretty awesome. Everyone else is getting ready for the Super Bowl, and what are we doing? Here we're talking about, where's my finger? Driving this little car right here to the park with my dog, enjoying a day that not a lot of other people are. At least not in the same way we are. Let's go for that ride. Okay, so I think we're finally ready to take that ride. I wanted to show you something. Subaru 360s have a very unique key. There is a set. You can actually read the number on the handle here. It's usually a 4-digit numeric and letter number, and it matches the key, which should be stamped on it someplace. So if you lose your Subaru 360 key, which is very unique, you can call up a friend and maybe they have a spare, or you can get one cut to match. Just to let you know that little secret. There's only, I think, 16 different keys. The key works in the ignition, the gas fill cap, and the door. On all Subaru 360s. I guess they weren't a very hot item to steal. Let's see if this thing starts. It's been a while. Okay, so little choke. Hopefully our battery's good. We're gonna let our fuel pump. I hear it pumping back there. Our generator light is on just like it should be. And I have a feeling this thing is gonna smoke to high heaven, because they do when they sit. Let's see, neutral. Boy, that's really stiff. That means the gear shift oil. The gear oil is very thick. I'm gonna put the clutch in. Don't need to put the clutch in. Let's see what happens. Come on. Oh, not too bad. This car tends to flood out easily, so I'm gonna feather the throttle here. It's still pretty cold. Kind of running on 1 and 2. They were running on 2. It's probably smoking like crazy. Let's see if we can move it. Come on, keep running. I'm gonna leave the choke on a little bit because it is not happy because it's too cold. There we go. We're in first gear. Try to avoid my other cars. Not happy. A little more choke. There we go. Okay, and now reverse. Just up and over and back. And I can see this door is not shut. My mirrors. And not smoking too bad. Stella is so excited to go for a ride, aren't you, girl? Yeah. Okay, so we got a fast throttle going on here with a little bit of choke, just a tiny bit of choke. Not a lot of smoke. That's pretty amazing, actually. So we're ready to go on our little adventure, but I see that we are low on fuel. We should probably go get some. Gotta support the oil industry, huh, Stella? You ready for some squirrels? Yeah, I bet you are. Roll your window down. It's getting warm out there. There you go. So we're putting out of the neighborhood. It is a beautiful day. Oh my goodness. It's 35 degrees this morning. It feels like it's 45 now. That's 10 degrees warmer than it was earlier. Brakes are sharp, a little sticky. Transmission is kind of getting easier. I think we're going to take the dog to the park and then maybe get some gas. Go to a new gas station. See if we can find something a little cheaper. Great day for a walk. Oh, it's nice out. Stretch the legs on this little guy. Okay, so we're on our way, and I have found out the brakes are very touchy. Don't know why they're so touchy. Let's try for second gear, pull away. This car has the Willwood brake conversion. It has the .625 master cylinder, which gives it extra braking pressure, kind of like power brakes. And when they get warmed up, they become very snappy. The windshield is only a good 16 inches from my nose, so if you are an unsuspecting passenger, I could put your nose in the windshield pretty easily. Unless you're in the back seat. It doesn't matter. Day to be at the park. What a day to be a dog. Stella knows where she's at. She can smell the park. All those trees, all those squirrels. We don't have a lot of fuel. That's actually kind of good. I like to run the tanks down, kind of get some, these cars don't get driven a lot, so I like to evacuate the tank every once in a while and start with a bunch of fresh fuel. This car is low compression, but I still like to put super in it to give it a little treat, because I do run these things hard on the highway and they need all the ping resistance they can get. Overheating. We're going to pull up over here and let the dog out. Pull up alongside this Amazon truck. Amazon truck and put my car in the back. Okay, so we're got a neutral, brake on, car off. Stella, are you just gonna run out there? Stay. Stay. You need to stay. Okay, squirrel on. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, as we depart our car that's parked here at the park, if it's not worth standing back and taking a look at, I don't think it's worth owning. That's what somebody told me once. So as I depart my car, I take a long, loving look, and I almost ran into the tree. That is a pretty cool little car. Look at that thing. You gotta love it. I heard that kid on the other side of the street there. Where is he? There he is. It's like, Dad, look at that car. It's such a cool car. Oh, you just gotta laugh. You just got to. That thing is so cool. Meanwhile, Stella is hunting squirrels so stealthily they can't see or hear her coming. She's the silent squirrel stalker. When Stella's hunting squirrels, she gets into the barely breathing stalking mode, big wild eyes, but yet barely moves, and then another dog comes in and snipes her squirrel. Happens all the time. Just happened a second ago. I didn't film it. Oh, look it. There's a squirrel in that tree over there, and Stella, you're just too slow. You're not going to get him like that. You've got to ambush him. Try, Stella. There's a squirrel right there. All right. See him? Oh, there he goes. He's laughing at you. And then the dog came in and sniped it. A little tiny chihuahua, Stella, just stole your squirrel. What are you going to do? Oh, that's pitiful. That's really bad. Stella, we're going to step up your game. You need some help here. Car, Stella almost got a squirrel right over there in the person's yard. The squirrel was not smart enough to climb a tree, and that means that Stella can outrun them, chase them down. That was the highlight of her day. It's almost game time, everybody. I think it's time to get some gas. Squirrel, you really almost got him. I was impressed. I can't believe it. What a great day. The sun is still shining. It feels like it's, well, probably 50 degrees, which is nice. We're out riding their bikes, enjoying life in Portland, Oregon. Not a bad thing, huh, Stella? Oh, we got a detour up here. We're gonna have to shut the camera off and concentrate on our driving. Wow, that's interesting. It's a whole intersection they took out. Okay, let's do that. We're gonna get gas at the cheap place, but the line goes around the block. In fact, it's affecting traffic on the main street. I didn't think gas was that. Oh my gosh. $3.50 is a good deal. I think we're gonna go someplace else. Can't wait for days. At a gas station that's cheaper and there's no line. It's gonna open this baby up. All right, so we got some gas. The gas station attendant was super nice. He let me fill my own tank. Technically, it's illegal in Oregon to fill your own tank, but he was very responsible and said, you can mess up your own paint job, and I appreciate that. So she took way more than I thought. 4.8 gallons. Oh my goodness. I was very excited for our next squirrel encounter, and look at that. We got a full tank. All right, so we're out driving around after we got our full tank of fuel. It feels like it runs better. Can't really explain that. Take a left here. Just more zippy. I don't think I put fuel in this car for over a year, so maybe the fuel was going bad. I don't know. It's running good now. The brakes don't feel quite as abrupt, kind of smoothed out. Brake pads brake shoes have kind of bed into the drums a little bit, got rid of all the oil and grease. It's really good to drive these things around. You got to drive your cars. You can't sit on you can't let the cars sit on the couch and atrophy, that's for sure, just like your body. That's what I tell everybody. Have a great day. Stella, I don't know what you're thinking. I wish dogs could talk. Alright, so we've arrived at our home. Put a few miles on a little Subaru today. Talked to a few people in the park. A couple of nice old fellas that really liked looking at the car. I like looking at my car. It's a pretty cool car. Thanks for coming along on this ride. Good to get this thing out of storage and get some miles under its belt, some fresh fuel, and just to make this paint shine in the sun. Stella, you almost got a squirrel. I am actually quite impressed. You almost got one that didn't climb a tree. Dumb squirrels, though, they won't last long. Some other dog will get it. Okay, thanks for watching and supporting my channel. Giving me the confidence that I need to keep these little cars on the road. I think you guys like that. I know I do. We'll catch you on the next video. Keep rooting for those two-stroke cars. There's just not a lot of them out there anymore.